I never was much of a beer drinker even when I was young. I mean, I would drink it at festivals or somebody had it, but it wasn't something I sought out to do.
Scott Yarnell developed a passion for beer while working at the Andersons. In 2003, he brewed his first cold one, and 13 years later, he and co-owner Keefe Snyder tapped the keg on Earnest Brew Works.
We are both active home brewers, and both of us were sort of looking to possibly venture into professional brewing, and it was just a matter of how the business model worked. And the one we liked the best was the taproom focused, where the brewery is a big part of the community and most of the beer gets sold on site.
The inspiration for Earnest beers, as well as their names, comes from a variety of places.
Some of the beers that we still brew to this day were recipes that we refined as home brewers. But others were completely out of left field creations. Others just on, stuff we had on hand or wanted to brew a beer with.
Crunchy Hippie, for instance, is one of our best-selling beers. That was a beer that I came up with name first. I was riding my bicycle on River Road, and I thought, I don't know, this name came to me as Crunchy Hippie. Then I thought, what is a Crunchy Hippie? So I thought a Crunchy Hippie's got to be a granola type of beer, with the same stuff as the granola. So it's got wheat, honey, oats. It's got sunflower seed, flaxseed, hemp seed in it. So to add some dimension and depth to it, we added cherries. It really make it taste like a liquid granola bar.
Brewing is a lengthy process, but one that Scott and Keefe were more than happy to walk us through during our visit, as the team concocted and kegged the Crunchy Hippie.
This one actually requires a very specific mashing regimen just to make sure that we don't stick it up, because it has a lot of wheat in it as well as other ingredients that make the mash a little bit different.
This is Crunchy Hippie from a previous batch. So he's kegging them off, and these kegs will end up being picked up by Heidelberg, and then they'll be distributed all throughout Northwest Ohio. Each one of those kegs is known as a half barrel, 15.5 gallons, which is 120 pints. We have 9 fermenters. We have 5 of the smaller size, which I used to think these were really huge when we first got them. And then we bought the big ones. Those are triple batch size. This is known as a bright tank. You can see it doesn't have the cone on the bottom like the other ones have. And that's because the yeast has already been pulled off, and the beer is fairly clear by the time it hits that tank. It just needs a little bit of stuff drops out, and that's what we kegged from. It's carbonated in that vessel also. We did start at 6:30 this morning, and we'll finish around like 7:30, 8 o'clock tonight.
How did the name come about?
It was, it's a summary of our philosophy towards brewing beer and how we wanted to, tie ourselves in with the craft beer movement. We wanted to, people to associate hardworking and sincere effort with our product, but it's also a word that people can repetitively spell and remember. So it worked out pretty good as a name.
It's a name that can now be seen at numerous bars throughout Northwest Ohio, but the best place to grab an Earnest pint is still the South Toledo Tap Room.
We wanted to be a tap room from day one, and all the growth we've had has helped basically extend the reach into other locations of our product. But the tap room is still a strong part of our business. Since we've opened, we've added the patio, which has added a nice spot, as well as continued with decorating and making the tap room open more hours, as well as having more things for our customers to get involved with when they're here.
Always looking to give back, Earnest took part in Sierra Nevada's Resilience IPA initiative, which benefits victims of the campfire in Northern California. And they're actively involved with local charities.
We've hosted several fundraisers for charity groups here as well. One in particular, the Glass City Dog Park, which is nearby.
Not only charities, but you work well with local businesses. We were actually out here in a previous episode when we were covering Coral Hamburg's food truck, and they happened to be in your parking lot. And that's where we covered them. Other businesses, Ken Craft provided the wood here for your bar and your flights. And that's not the only thing they provided. Today we got a little special flight. 419 by Design is a show on BCAN. It's produced by Eric Oblander, who you also might know from Rise Up. Hello. He works with Tracy and the team over at Ken Craft, and they made a special flight for us, right?
Yes, so hey, first of all, I want to let you know that I love your beer and a grateful city salute you. The guys over at Ken Craft built this flight for kind of this event. I know that Scott and you work with them quite a bit. Just asked Tracy over there at Ken Craft to come up with something. And this is what he brought us, and we couldn't be more happy with it.
Cheers, gentlemen.
Cheers.
Thank you very much. Check out Earnest, the corner of Bern in Detroit. Great beer, great friends, great time.